Good morning and welcome. I'm Pooja Shali and today is going to be an important day with regard to Varanasi. The Gyanvapi issue is only escalating and specifically legally. And with the matter reaching the court, we are expecting today a mega day in the courts. Now, remember, on one hand, there is the Varanasi court Gyanvapi survey report submission. On another, the Supreme Court will be hearing all the parties in the Gyanvapi case. That's not all. In another case, Mathura court, meanwhile, this is separate from Varanasi and Gyanvapi. Mathura court will be about the Krishna Janmabhoomi versus Shahi Eidgah Mosque case verdict likely today. We have some big breaking news coming in. Let's take a look about what's been happening. Now, eventually, remember, it will be about the report that is being submitted to the courts. The report of the survey conducted by Ajay Mishra and Varanasi's Gyanvapi Mosque on the orders of the court on 6th and 7th May was submitted by the former commissioner now. Now, I say former commissioner because remember that he has been removed from and cannot really be going on with the survey of the premises for now. But in this two-page report, he mentioned about getting the symbols and relics of Hindu religion. Mishra's report claims idol of the Shringar Gauri has been found during videography. Not only Shringar Gauri, but remains of several other ancient Hindu idols have been recovered from the site where the mosque stands today. Now, an ancient lamp has been found that was used to perform the puja, the ceremony, the worship ceremonies, indicating there was a temple before the mosque. Now, the videography and photography of now the disputed site, this was done on 6th and 7th May. Varanasi court, meanwhile, removed him from its 3-member survey team on Tuesday for displaying allegedly irresponsible behavior toward the discharge of duties. This after he alleged that he had deployed a personal camera person to leak information to the media. And when he was removed, my colleague Samarth Srivastav had got us that first and exclusive interaction with Ajay Mishra because perhaps 13th, 14th May is not exactly when his report may stand ground, but 6th and 7th does, Samarth. And from the information that has come out of it is also very significant. What exactly has he said in that report of 6th and 7th May? Hindu idols found, an ancient lamp found. How will this be then joining in the arguments that the Hindu side have already been claiming for?
See, the report submitted by the then Advocate Commissioner Ajay Kumar Mishra seems to be massive because it has got a lot of elements what Hindu side claimed. It has been clearly said in the report that some Hindu idols were found while the area where the masjid wall is around. He has also seen some Hindu things in the form of portrait, in the form of designs, be it the Sheshnag, be it the swastik, or be it that particular lotus of Lord Brahma. Many other things were found as claimed by Ajay Kumar Mishra in his report sent to the court yesterday evening. So it's going to be massive because today two-page report has been submitted and in it a lot of Hindu symbols were found inside the mosque, around the walls of mosque. Now it's also going to be worth seeing what Vishal Singh, the new Special Advocate Commissioner, will do in the report that is likely to be submitted today in the court. And with the submission, we'll get the rough idea how the survey went out. But as per sources, what we got, there are clear indication, and also in the report it is clearly mentioned a lot of Hindu symbols were found inside the mosque and around the walls of mosque. So it's going to be crucial how the second report comes in, and will that match to the report of Ajay Kumar Mishra. It's going to be worth seeing because though there are a lot of petitions to be filed today, but the importance and all eyes are on the survey, and that means the second survey which is going to be filed today. Because earlier when we spoke to videographers and other elements related to the story, they also pressed on the same thing, that they found swastik, that they found the Om symbol, they found the Sheshnag of Lord Vishnu, lotus of Lord Brahma, and various other things. And also the report also mentions a lot of debris. Seems to be a broken form of some big constructed material inside the premises of mosque and that particular Tehkhana area. And it is worth mentioning here that Ajay Mishra has also blamed district administration for not cooperating, because when on second day the Ajay Mishra and his team went inside for the survey. Around 100 Muslim men gathered around that mosque place, and it was not possible to conduct the survey.
Telling us is because it is so significant, Samarth, but it is also communally sensitive, and we know that there have been legal procedures taken by the Muslim side as well. Meanwhile, to say that the Wazu Khana, which has been sealed on court orders, must be opened, people must be allowed to follow their procedure, which they used to, which is to wash hands and feet before they go and offer prayers. So there are going to be these multiple pleas today as well in the court, isn't it?
100% it is going to be, because already 9 locks have been placed around that pond area. It has become a sensitive area. Apart from CRPF or deputy SP range officers has also been posted to that particular area, because what Hindu side claimed a Shivling was found, and that is why court ordered after Vishnu Jain, the Hindu advocate, rushed towards the court for the protection of that particular Shivling, and court ordered to seal district administration to seal that particular area and not allow anybody to roam around that pond area. Though the entire pond area is having a lot of steel doors with attached, so these all have been locked, while the water inside that pond has been taken out and arrangements made to save the fishes around that particular pond. So it's going to be worth crucial how that area goes in, because Muslim side on the other hand claiming that it's not Shivling, it's fountain, and another petition from the Muslim side is also pending in the court. So on that petition, whether it's a fountain or Shivling, court could also pronounce a decision or can reserve order in that connection. While apart from that, few other petitions, including of that 5 women which claimed to allow to offer prayer at the Shivling and go into another Tehkhana, which they claim to be somewhere around that particular Shivling, is also going to be crucial. While if you talk about the DGC, that district government advocate Mahendra Pandey's petition, which says that Muslims should also be provided the wuzu area in some other place. This is another petition which is to be heard today by the local court. But all eyes are on the survey report. That means the number 2. Number 1, Ajay Mishra has submitted. Number 2 is the survey report.
What you're telling us, Samarth, how much of this survey report of later and the details that are not exactly out, that also will be awaited. But Samarth will be tracking all the latest. Samarth, stay on with me, because in just a short while, all eyes will be on the Varanasi civil court also. Why? Now, the court is all set to hear 3 pleas related to the Gyanvapi controversy. What is that? The survey report to be submitted in the court today. The petition 1 has sought permission to offer prayers at the Shivling, as it is being claimed by the Hindu side, found on the premises. But there's another petition which will be demanding the shifting of pipelines through which the water is supplied to Namazis to perform wuzu, where the alleged Shivling is found. There's another petition, which is petition 3, where the Hindu side is asking Ajay Kumar Mishra to be included in the survey work, the one who had been removed because of allegedly irresponsible behavior. The Varanasi court will be, of course, looking at that as well. So these are primarily 4 petitions that are going to be the highlight today. So let's go across to Samarth as well. Samarth, it's very interesting how the Hindu side is asking for more time. And this despite the fact that they've been very confident and very defiant that it is a Shivling, that there was a temple and it needs to be opened up, especially the inner vaults and the lower floors.
See, when we were reporting on that day, when it was last day of survey, suddenly a car came out from the survey area, and it was Vishnu Jain inside that car, and he just showed a thumbs up to the India Today TV team. And then when we dialed to Vishnu Jain, he clearly said, Shivling mil gaya, Shivling has been found, and I am rushing towards the civil court for its protection. So it was very clear and evident, and India Today was first to catch Vishnu Jain after the submission and got the details how it will go on, like how court ordered to seal that particular premises. And what you mentioned about the petitions is also an important fact. The number 3 petition is also about when Hindu side, the petitioner side, is claiming to continue with Ajay Mishra, that the one who was removed yesterday by the local court for not taking interest in this particular matter. Also, his associates leaking information into the media. Though Ajay Mishra, when spoke to India Today TV, he denied all these allegations and blamed the Special Advocate Commissioner Vishal Singh for all the mishap, for all the miscommunication. He even said that Vishal Singh is politicizing the entire matter, and he is the reason why Ajay Mishra has been removed, because he even claimed that even Muslim side had problems with me, but at that time court did not remove me. But what happened in just 2 to 3 days, that Vishal Singh gave a letter for his removal saying that he is not honest, he is not cooperating. What happened? So these were the allegations made by even Ajay Mishra, broke out while speaking to India Today TV. So it's going to be worth seeing whether court will agree to the petitioners that Ajay Mishra will continue or not. But what is concrete, that Ajay Mishra has submitted his part of report, and the awaited report is of Vishal Singh,
yes,
which is to be submitted today afternoon at the district court.
All right, Samar, please keep tracking all the latest on that. It's important for our viewers who are tuning in to understand why today is such a big day, because there are one-by-one videos that are emerging. But apart from that, the matter is in the court. Eventually, it will be the court deciding what is there. Is it a shivling or not? Should there be inner vaults must be opened as well. Now, remember, as we take a look at right now on your screen, there are different petitions that are going to be coming forth in the Varanasi court, seeking the extension primarily of the survey report time. Perhaps they want to put forth more evidence that they have been able to videograph and videotape. But the Varanasi court, remember, there's also been with regard to the removal of the mosque wall, because there's, of course, an adjacent to the temple, and they want that wall to be removed. That's also about Nandi facing, as it appears, the Shivling that the Hindu side is claiming, and that is separated by a wall. That must also now be coming forth. Now, these are some of the petitions that would be possibly be taken up in the court today, and eventually it will be an important day, because there are different sides that are already readying their legal arsenal. Now, the Supreme Court bench comprising, of course, these are remember, a senior judge bench that will be taking into consideration what exactly happened. The hearing of the survey's validity will be taken into point. Gyanvapi politics is also continuing, because Asaduddin Owaisi of the AIMIM has already said they will not let the survey continue. They will not let any action be taken against the mosque as it stands today in Varanasi, the Gyanvapi mosque. And eventually, with that hearing in the Supreme Court, in the top court today, with the bench comprising Justices D.Y. Chandrachud and P.S. Narasimha, will resume the hearing in the case today. Hindu petitioners are expected to file their response also in the plea. So listen in now first to what the politics is about in this case.
से बेहतर और हमारे पुराने लीडर से बेहतर कोई नहीं जानता होगा। एक समय ऐसा था कि रात के अंधेरे में मूर्तियां रख दी गई थी। बीजेपी कुछ भी कर सकती है, बीजेपी कुछ भी करा सकती है। कोर्ट का मामला है। सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि जिनकी जिम्मेदारी थी सर्वे करने की, आखिरकार वो रिपोर्ट बाहर कैसे आ गई? और हमारे धर्म में तो ये है, हिंदू धर्म में, कहीं भी पत्थर रख दो, एक लाल झंडा रख दो, पीपल के पेड़ के नीचे मंदिर बन गया। हम ये कह रहे हैं बीजेपी से सावधान रहिए। बीजेपी जानबूझ करके ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद का मामला इसलिए उठा रहे हैं, वो स्मोक स्क्रीन बना दी उन्होंने।
अखिलेश यादव, who claims that Shri Krishna comes in his dreams, has mocked the Hindu Astha as well. He says that just by placing a rock under a people ka ped, it becomes a mandir. If you just place a red flag under a people ka ped, wo mandir ban jata hai. This kind of mocking of Hindu Astha is not surprising from somebody whose politics has been about taking credit and feeling pride in firing bullets on innocent Ram Bhakts.
So, of course, remember, Akhilesh Yadav stoking a big controversy with that statement that's coming in, and the Bharatiya Janata Party also specifically attacking Akhilesh Yadav with that. So, Akhilesh Yadav basically stating that in Hindu religion, wherever you put a stone under a tree with a red flag on it, it becomes a temple. But eventually, politics aside, religious sentiments aside, it will be how the court decides today, and specifically in the Supreme Court where the hearing will be on. Anisha Mathur joins me now from the national capital, Delhi. Anisha, let's stay with what the court has said, because netas are going to, be blaming each other. But how important will be the hearing today in the top court? What exactly, for our viewers, do help us understand, will be about the hearing in the court today?
Well, Pooja, the Supreme Court is hearing the petition filed by the Muslim petitioners. The Mosque committee, if you remember, has moved a plea saying that the civil court, all of its orders since August last year are incorrect, that the civil court should not have heard this matter in the first place, that the civil court should not have made any orders for a court commissioner, the civil court should not have issued any orders for survey, that the 16th May, that is Monday order to seal the area is also incorrect. Now, what the Muslim petitioners are saying is that the 1991 Places of Worship Act bars any change in the religious character of the premises. It means that whatever was there at midnight on 15th August 1947 has to be allowed to remain under the provisions of the Places of Worship Act. Now, what the Muslim side is arguing is that by allowing a survey, by even agreeing to hear these petitions, the civil court has violated the 1991 Act, which is why they want the Supreme Court to issue a stay on the civil court proceedings. They want the Supreme Court to lift the sealing order. They want the Supreme Court to say that, well, the petitions that have been filed by the Hindu petitioners, which have said that let us access these areas, let us have a survey of these areas, let us remove the encroachment of the masjid and restore the temple, those petitions should never have been heard, according to the Muslim side. Now, today is going to be very crucial to see what the UP government says in response to these petitions. It also has to be seen what the Hindu side says about these petitions and whether the Supreme Court agrees to the request, the prayer of the Muslim side to at least stay the Varanasi court proceedings as they are right now. That a lot of things will have to be said in the court. The court will have to be considering the matter, because on Tuesday the Supreme Court said we are not going to pass any ex parte orders. We want to know what the other side says. But with the Hindu side now very clearly saying, Vishnu Jain on our camera has said that they will be asking for an adjournment. They will be asking for time to file a response. The Muslim side will definitely press for a stay today, because as long as the sealing order stays in place, as long as the district authorities are imposing a strict sealing order in the Khana area, as long as there is a restriction on entry and exit, what the Muslim side wants is has already been denied. So effectively the Muslim side...
I do have an added question here before I let you go. Now, because you have been covering the courts so regularly, what is the precedence of such cases? Because we have had Ayodhya in the past, we've had a lot of other similar disputes of temple and mosque and claims that temples have been demolished to build mosques over it. But how do you think courts likely hear such matters which involves religious sentiments? There are clear communal overtones here, but it will have to be about facts and research. How do you think this gets presented legally in the court, Anisha?
Well, Pooja, as I was saying, legally the issue is not of communal sentiment. Legally is the issue of who has the right over that particular piece of land. Now, in Ayodhya, we saw for decades there was a stay on anybody's entry into the Babri Masjid Ram Janmabhoomi area. That stay order, in fact, got violated when the Babri Masjid demolition took place. Even here, if you see this case, if you see the Mathura case, if you see the Delhi case, everywhere the question is very simple. Can, after so many years, when there is a 1991 Places of Worship Act in place, can today now a claim be made that no, these are our temples, you remove the masjid and you restore the temple? That is where the legal question hinges, really, Pooja. As far as the precedent as such is concerned, if you see the Delhi case, if you see what happened in Delhi in the Qutub Minar, Quwwat-ul-Islam Mosque case, the civil court has thrown out that petition. They've said that under the 1991 1991 Act, this petition is barred. Now the appeal against that petition is now pending before the district court, where this right to worship issue has been raised, that okay, even if you don't remove it, at least let us go there and pray. Let us go there and pray. And that is precisely what this petition in the Varanasi court is also about, that the title suit, the petition saying that you remove the masjid, give us this land back because this land belongs to Bhagwan Shiv. That plea, the title suit was filed in 1991 and till date remains stayed by the Allahabad High Court. What is being heard in the civil court right now are these petitions seeking right to worship, and under that right to worship, removal of the encroachment, which is the masjid. Now, whether the courts can and should hear these matters is what the Supreme Court will finally have to consider at some point, because in Mathura as well, the similar thing has happened, that the civil court said you don't have the locus to file this, you can't file this. Now the petition is before the district judge that okay, don't give us the title, at least let us go in and pray. Let us go in and pray, and if we are going in to pray, then restore the temple so that we can pray properly. Now if you say that you restore the temple, essentially you're saying give the land back to the deity that whose mandir it is and remove the masjid. That is the legal question that India's courts will have to decide, that if you are saying at one point that the title suits cannot be entertained, can you then, under a right to worship suit, say that, okay, we will conduct a survey, we will give you this part of the land and we
Anisha, because it will clearly not end here. After Ayodhya and after Kashi, there are demands that are coming in from Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat as well, and it will only escalate. Anisha, please keep tracking all the latest on that, because from the court onto the political issue of it. Samajwadi Party Chief Akhilesh Yadav has now said, and he's facing a lot of ire for what he's just said a short while ago. Akhilesh Yadav was slamming the BJP, but then added that in Hindu religion, wherever you put a stone under a tree with a red flag on it, it becomes a temple. Akhilesh's remark has drawn immediate criticism, not by the BJPs only, but also people on social media. But BJP spokesperson Shehzad Poonawalla specifically slammed the Samajwadi Party chief for hurting Hindu sentiments. Poonawalla has said such kind of mocking of Hindu Astha has come again this time. Not just him, TMC MP Mahua Moitra, there on your screen, yesterday put out a social media site reaction on Twitter, mocking the Shivling survey by sharing an illustration. She shared this photograph of the Baba Atomic Research Center, and I quote her here, "Hope this is not next on the digging list," comparing it to the Shivlinga, of course. Now, the TMC has not really reacted on this. But of course, jumping into this controversy is actor Kangana Ranaut. She's also made a big statement amid this Gyanvapi controversy, and she's hailing the Shivling claim that has come in the mosque. Kangana Ranaut has said Lord Shiva is present everywhere in Kashi. And amid the chanting of Har Har Mahadev, Kangana Ranaut has said there is Lord Krishna in every ounce of Mathura, and Lord Ram is present everywhere in Ayodhya. She also added, as you can see that on your screen, Lord Shiva does not need any structure. He's settled in every bit of Kashi. Ranaut is actually in Varanasi as we speak to promote her upcoming film Dhakad. She also visited the Vishwanath Dham corridor there.
देखिए, ये जो है, जैसे मथुरा का कण कण में कृष्ण है, जैसे अयोध्या के कण कण में श्री राम है, वैसे काशी के कण कण में महादेव हैं। उनको किसी स्ट्रक्चर की जरूरत नहीं है, वो कण कण में है। हर हर महादेव।
Now, a new 29-second video of an claiming of a Shivling at the Kashi's Gyanvapi Mosque complex has sparked a massive upheaval. There is this unedited footage on your screen as well, showing what is being claimed as a Shivling and a well near the Wazu Khana, where the Muslim devotees wash their hands and feet before they go to offer prayers. So politics has expectedly exploded. Asaduddin Owaisi of AIMIM is calling this an attempt by the BJP to return to the Babri era. The BJP is demanding the scrapping of the Places of Worship Act, where precisely one of the reasons that there is, as court is now hearing this matter on.
Another video of the claimed Shivling inside the Gyanvapi Mosque complex in Varanasi. This one shows the well-like structure next to the Wazukhana. The Hindu side claims that the well houses the Shivling. Earlier images accessed by India Today showed the claimed Shivling inside this water body. The latest clip has only made the claim of the Hindu side stronger. They're now asking, what more proof is needed?
हमने एप्लीकेशन लगाई है, वो एक एप्लीकेशन है फैक्ट्स असर्टेन करने की, कोर्ट के पटल पे अपनी बातें लाने की, और माननीय न्यायालय जरूर इसको देखेगा, इसके मेरिट्स को देखेगा। मुस्लिम साइड से अंजुमन इंतजामिया से उनके जवाब मंगाए जाएंगे।
The site where the claimed Shivling has been spotted has been secured after the Supreme Court order on Tuesday. The local administration has put 9 locks and 2 CRPF Jawans have also been deployed. They will guard this entire area 24/7. A deputy superintendent of police rank officer, the head of the Kashi temple security and 3 CRPF commandants will review security on a 24/7 basis. While the hearing in the Varanasi court did not take place on Wednesday, the Mandir Masjid dispute has already taken political center stage.
ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद का और इस तरह के घटनाक्रम भारतीय जनता पार्टी जानबूझ करके करती है।
मैं चाहूंगा कि अभी भी समय है कि इन 3 मस्जिदों पर, इन 3 मंदिरों के साथ जो अन्याय हुआ, जो मस्जिदें बनाई गई इनके आसपास या मंदिर तोड़कर मस्जिद बनाए गए, उन पर बैठकर हिंदू समाज के साथ या हिंदू समाज के जो लोग रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं उनके साथ बैठकर इस पे कोई सलाह करे, बातचीत करे और रास्ता निकालें।
विचारधारा में इनकी सोच के अंदर क्या देख रहे हो, क्या तमाशे हो रहे हैं देश के अंदर, अब एक नया तमाशा शुरू कर देंगे हम आप पर।
The mosque panel continues to claim that the Shivling is actually a water fountain. The Lucknow All India Muslim Personal Law Board has also decided to form a legal committee that will oversee this entire case.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने यह भी कहा कि मुसलमानों के जो रिलीजियस तरीके से जो आप नमाज पढ़ते हैं जो है उसमें वजू भी शामिल है, तो वजू करेंगे उसमें हाउस में जाकर, और 400 साल से उस वजू को, उस फवारे को कुछ नुकसान नहीं हुआ। और अगर ये फवारे को अगर इस तरह अगर पेश किया जा रहा है तो कल ताजमहल को बंद कर देना पड़ेगा। ताजमहल के सामने भी फवारे लगे हैं, कहां जाके बात रुकेगी फिर ये?
Hindu motifs, the spotting of a reported Shivling. Will the survey report that's due to be submitted in the next few days be a game changer in the Gyanvapi Mosque Kashi temple case? Bureau Report, India Today.
So if you're wondering how exactly has the Wazukhana of the Gyanvapi premises become the big flashpoint, my colleague, our senior executive editor Gaurav Sawant, explains the Gyanvapi complex and now the disputed area through this 3D animation, a graphic representation, so you understand what exactly is the situation there now.
The Kashi Vishwanath Temple Complex and the Gyanvapi Mosque. Now this area is in the headlines, but I want to explain this area to you a little in detail. Why is this so important and why is Nandi, the ride of Bhagwan Shiv, actually facing the Gyanvapi Mosque and not the temple that was rebuilt or built afresh by Ahilya by Holkar after it was demolished on the instructions of Emperor Aurangzeb. Now, Nandi, it is believed, always faces Lord Shiv. And Nandi, as you can see here, is facing the Gyanvapi Mosque. When you look at the temple, well, the thing is, the Hindus believe that the Gyanvapi Mosque is where the temple or the original Shivling, one of the Jyotirlings, originally was. Gyanvapi or Gyankoop, the well of knowledge. Let's explain this location and the lay of the land to you. So the belief is Nandi always faces Lord Shiv. And when you look at the Kashi Vishwanath temple complex, Nandi is actually facing the Gyanvapi Mosque and not the temple that was constructed by Ahilyabai Holkar. Now, for Nandi, it has been a very long wait. A wait of more than 352 years, 4 months and 15 days and counting. But this is just a process that has started. Now, it is also believed that you whisper a prayer in the ear of Nandi and it reaches Lord Shiv. That is the belief. Hindus have believed that for centuries. In this case, Nandi very patiently is looking towards the Gyanvapi Mosque. The Hindu side says they found Lord Shiv. What happens next is now will be a matter of investigation in courts. The 5 women petitioners wanted unhindered access to pray at the Shringar Gauri Sthal and wanted videography to prove that there was a temple where the mosque now stands. And now we will show you on the last day of videography or the court or mandated survey what was found. So the videography that was ordered, it happened for 3 days and there were absolutely no problems in the videography. Every side cooperated is the information that we have, and the Hindu side is claiming that at the Wazu Khana, that is where the Shivling was found. Of course, this has been contested by the Muslim side that insists that it was a fountain that was always there and already there. The ball now is in court for courts to decide what will happen next. Will the women devotees get unhindered access to pray, and will it be expanded further or not? We'll tell you more about that.
Not just Kashi, battle for the Krishna Janmabhoomi land is also all set. Mathura court will be delivering a crucial verdict in the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi-Shahi Eidgah Mosque dispute case today. The judgment is expected on the plea filed by Ranjana Agnihotri, who is part of the lawsuit. Earlier, the petitioners argued that the mosque was allegedly built by Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb in the premises of the Katra Keshav Dev temple near the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Now remember, there are 3 lawsuits that have been filed till now in the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi-Shahi Eidgah Mosque case. On 9th of May, petition was filed for video survey on the Shahi Eidgah Mosque. Now all eyes on the Mathura court will be today after the discovery of the claimed Shivling in a Gyanvapi controversy. Now demands are being raised to seal the Shahi Eidgah Mosque premises as well. So take a look now. Remember, it has since Ayodhya, not only about Varanasi's temple, but here in Kashi and in specifically Mathura as well, there has been these ongoing dispute and demands for the courts to consider specifically the original temple of the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi where it stood. Ashutosh, my colleague, is in Mathura today, and he's joining me live on this telecast. Ashutosh, how important do you think today will be with regard to the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi-Shahi Eidgah Mosque case in the court?
Well, you know, multiple cases, Pooja, is flooding in the Mathura court. Eventually, the first case, which was challenging the understanding between two sides in 1968, that was done by Amrinder Singh in 2020, perhaps in the month of September. Now, as far as, you know, this entire case is concerned, remember, already civil judge has rejected one of such cases. Of course, you know, when it was citing that illegal construction has been done on the temple land and there should be right to worship. Now, that has been challenged to the district court, and in fact, just yesterday, another application has been filed to the court by the gentleman who claims to be the कोषाध्यक्ष of Hindu Mahasabha, अखिल भारतीय हिंदू महासभा, दिनेश शर्मा. एक लाइन में बताइए, कल आपने जो याचिका डाली है, क्या प्रार्थना की है आपने अदालत से?
हमने माननीय न्यायालय से प्रार्थना किया है कि जो असली गर्भगृह है, जिसको कथित ईदगाह कहते हैं, वहाँ हमारे लड्डू गोपाल जी का अभिषेक होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम कान्हा का अभिषेक वहीं करना चाहते हैं जहाँ हमारे कान्हा का जन्म हुआ था, और जन्म हुआ था कंसी कारागार में. कारागार को तोड़ के इन्होंने ईदगाह बनाई. वो एक अतिक्रमण है, ईदगाह अतिक्रमण है वहाँ.
Now they are seeking right to worship in the land. Now remember, in 1968, the settlement between the trust between the Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi and Eidgah committee was already done, and it was done in the same Mathura court. Now today, as far as Ranjana Agnihotri's case is concerned, we are expecting the order on the maintainability of the application, and that is expected between 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. where the court will decide, and this order in terms of is going to be significant, because if court maintains this application, accept this application, then perhaps there are several other pleas which have been filed, they all will be clubbed. And if this is rejected, this is clearly going to be a setback perhaps, of course, on the worship places of worship act and on the settlement. So clearly this day is really going to be significant. What Ranjana Agnihotri is saying, there is illegal construction by the Eidgah committee on the temple's land. Subsequently, there should be permission to offer prayer in the Eidgah, as they say the Krishna was born particularly at that place, and other petitions which are clubbed in terms of injunction that is in file. They also say that there are illegal encroachment by the masjid. Hence, those are because there was a...
Apart from how the matter is in the court, the petitioners on both sides, how is the mood on the ground in Mathura? Because this, of course, has been, for as long as we remember, an issue that locals have known, discussed and debated about. But today, it has actually reached the court and we are expecting a verdict. How is the mood on the ground in Mathura?
That's really something, Pooja, to really see here, as we are seeing already, a high decibel everywhere campaigning, people talking about it, multiple places the courts are hearing such matters. Clearly, it is highly charged. And if you see the people, the crowd that you see is unprecedented today. Of course, being a district court and several other civil court here, judicial court here, lots of cases are flooding. But particularly in this case, there you see there's a huge number of people that are coming here. Interestingly, lawyers, the priests, the local pujaris, all because they all have now, a concern what is going to happen today. And of course, their interest.